Good morning. This is Yvonne Roberts, and I am coming to you this morning. Thankful and grateful that you're able to join me this morning. And today is Friday, January 5th. And this morning I thought I'd speak about James chapter 2, verses 14. And Joyce Meyer said something this morning as I was watching her. And she just happened to mention that people may not always remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And it is absolutely true, because I know that I don't always remember what a person might say to me, per se, verbatim, word for word, verbatim, even though what they were saying to me was very important. But I always remember how I felt after I talked to that person. And let me just share with you what James chapter 2, verse 14 says. And it says here, "What good is it, dear brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith, but don't show it by your actions? Can that kind of faith save anyone?" And it is absolutely true, because I know that a lot of times we say things, but we don't show it for various reasons. And I know that it is important to me that when I talk to people in a way that I want somebody to talk to me. Jesus does say, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." And I absolutely want someone to talk to me the way that I talk to someone. And I don't talk to anybody if I don't want anyone to talk to me that way. I think we have to be careful in how we communicate with each other. I think that especially when it comes to us encouraging one another, I'm a big fan of encouraging people. Encouragement is very important in our day and time. We all need a word of encouragement to each other. And the Bible tells us to encourage one another in the faith. And I absolutely am a fan of encouraging people. And so I'm here this morning. I want to encourage us as believers to be mindful of how we speak to one another. And when we speak to one another, we need to speak to one another in love. And make sure that after they leave our presence, that how we spoke to them stays with them. You know, sometimes after you smoke a cigarette, the smoke stays with you. It's on your clothes. It's on your skin. It's everywhere. And you can still smell the smoke even after you're done smoking a cigarette. It's the same way after we finish talking to people or being with someone. We want our presence to still stay with them. And I know that when Jesus was here, people loved being in his presence. People love being in his presence. A lot of people followed Jesus for different reasons. A lot of people didn't follow Jesus because they loved being in his presence. A lot of people followed Jesus because they wanted what Jesus had. People followed Jesus because they know he could heal them. People followed Jesus because they knew that all he had to do was say it and it was done. And I don't necessarily, like Jesus, I don't necessarily want people to, if you will, follow me or be in my presence because they can get something from me. I would like for a person to be in my presence because of the way I make them feel. They feel comfortable. They feel safe. They feel at peace in my presence. And so I just absolutely love what she had to share this morning, and I thought I might share it with you. And so I just want to encourage us this morning to make sure that it's not always about remembering what we do for people or what we absolutely say to people. But what's more important is that after we said what we had to say, how do we leave people feeling? So just let that be, just let that resonate with you this morning. I certainly hope and pray that something that I've said has encouraged you this morning and make us think a little bit about how we're living and how we're helping other people to live. Because believe it or not, what we say, how we say it, can make a difference and an impact in someone's life, whether they want to live or die. And we never know what type of shape a person is in when they're in our presence. We all have our walls. We all have our protectors. And just because it seems that a person is in a good way doesn't necessarily mean a person is in a good way. So thank you so very much for joining me this morning. This is Yvonne Roberts. And this is what I'm going to call my new my new radio show. And I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to call it an encouraging word, but I guess I could still say it's an encouraging word. But this is Yvonne Roberts, and this is your encouraging word for today, coming from James chapter 2, verse 14. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.